What is happening, my beautiful people? What's going down? What's going down, guys? All right. Well, I want to talk I'm going to be brief on this. I just wanted to kind of give an update on this. We had a little Wolf Creek, or we all met up at Wolf Creek. Africa flew in. Most of you, or a lot of you know that Alan, or AJ, you may know him as Alan or AJ, but him and I have become friends through our channels, and since we have met, physically met, he he lived in Maryland, I'm in Indiana. He came in, he went up for some kind of job training deal up in Goshen, north of me. So I drove him up there, but anyway, we got to meet and hang out and shit. Besides him, there's also been other people that I've started to build this rapport with, these relationships with, in Africa, and Ed and Sherry from Cincinnati. There's different people, I've got a couple girls over in the UK that I'm in constant contact with, and I mean, there's just several people. But anyway, we all stayed at a place called Wolf Creek. That is around a place called Brookville, Indiana. That's very notorious for canoeing and laking and skiing and swimming and blah blah blah. It's a big giant water. It's a big giant lake. Anyway, Wolf Creek is a few miles southwest of Brookville, and it's a habitat where they protect, or they have saved wolves that would have otherwise been euthanized. I don't know, but anyway, these people save the wolves. They have a place for them. They keep them safe. They give them their shots or whatever. They feed them, and because the wolf's lifespan isn't that long, so they take care of them till death. And it's really a nice place. It's actually a very magical place. I was surprised. That's why I kind of want to do a video on some of the funny. I mean, it was magical. I mean, that's really the only words you can use. I mean, I had more, I would say, interaction with nature than I've had in a long time. And Kim was too. There was a fish that was literally, she was down there with this fish, and it kept coming up, and she could have fed this. If she had had a worm or a piece of bread, it literally almost came up and kissed her fingers. I mean, it was within inches. She would stick her hand down there, and it would come all the way up to her and back off a little bit. It's a little bluegill. And there was actually a couple of them, but there was one in particular that she had made contact with, and this little fish just wanted to be her friend. It was funny. It was really funny. And looks like my face is all red, don't it? I hate doing this view because I always look at myself and think I look stupid. But anyway, so I had there was this tree that I took pictures of it, but man, this dude was giving me vibes for real. It was crazy. I don't know. This whole place had this feeling that it was alive. It was one of those places that just, it's a magical place. I don't know why. I think it was already a spiritual place before that, and then she came along and somehow infused even more energy, to that land. I believe it's a big vortex of energy. The way it is, it's down in a sort of in a valley type of thing, and surrounded by hills, and the creek runs through it. And I believe in the way the creek winds and winds around, I believe that there's like an energy, a literal, I wouldn't say it would be as strong as Sedona or anything like that, but there's definitely something there. People that are intuitive, or people that can feel energies or whatever, I would recommend you go and check this place out. They have, little cabins you can rent, and they have, I think, primitive camping. You can go in and interact with the wolves. I think it's $50. You can go in there for like 4 or 5 hours if you want. And if it's hot, word of advice. If it's hot, the wolves will go and find the shade. They won't even mess with you. You want to go like in the spring or the fall or a real cool morning, you know. But they'll love on you and kiss on you. Wolves are like, it's unbelievable. Once you get to learn about wolves, they get a bad rap, man. They are like the most lovingest and the most, you know, they're family oriented. They have a pack and they have a family and they stick to it and they're loyal to each other. It's pretty cool once you get to learn about wolves. But anyway, some of the things, the reason that we met, let me get to this, because one of the things that I learned while I was there is that, you know, I need to kind of like get 3 topics and stick to, like, and try to, you know, try to make my videos more poignant, I guess. I don't know, more so that I don't ramble as much, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So we'll just see how it goes. But, you know, the reason we had met up, they wanted to run a model scenario, or I guess that would be the way you would put it. They wanted to organize an event, schedule activities, run the activities, see how possible it is to make this whole thing cohesive and fluid, you know, and a flow to it. And, you know, I think they just wanted to give it a trial run. It was not only was it supposed to be a meeting for us to get this thing in the beginning stages. And I'm not sure if I'm even supposed to talk about what this is going to be, but I'm going to go ahead and put it out there, and they can tell me to take this down, but if I have to. But what they're going to do, and these guys are going to do it. I've never met a more ambitious, driven. I mean, these guys, you know, I kind of feel dumb around these guys. These guys know how to do shit. They know how to put events together and organize and schedule and market and brand and all these things, you know, that they probably learned from corporate America, their jobs and college and things that they've done, because they're all highly educated and they're all very skilled in, you know, working with Fortune 500 companies or things of that nature, you know. So, and that's like not what I do. I'm not, you know, so I'm like a fish out of water when listening to these guys talk this stuff. But they're going to do it. It's going to happen, and it's going to be a combination. It's going to be what they want to do is marry maybe I shouldn't say anything. Let me just say there's going to be an event, because I don't want to like give somebody else an idea and somebody beat them to the punch, and I don't want to be the guy that does that to them, because they have a really good idea. It's I wasn't sure about it until after I experienced some of the things I experienced and realized the transformation that can take place, because I had a very transformative weekend. I had a QHHT session. They have a Pandora star. Kim did it, but her eyes, she has, since cancer and everything, her eyes, she has real bad problems with them, and light messes with them, and she couldn't enjoy the process. I didn't get to do it. I'm going to next time. AJ did it. I guess it's pretty intense, the Pandora star is. But anyway, I'd done a QHHT, and that was very interesting. And I do want to just touch on that real quick, because, you know, you're communicating with yourself. As I was going under, you're not all the way under. You know, you're aware of what's going on. You can aware of what's going on, and you're basically, what you're basically doing, they get you to I forget what they called it, a beta state or theta state, I don't know, some kind of state when you're right in that. I've talked about it before in my videos, that when you get in this, right before you go into it twice a day, it's right. Oh, we got a little friend here, and you see that? What you doing, little buddy? Come here. He'll probably come to me, man. It's been like that. This is how it's been. It's been magical, man. It's been magical. It's funny, once you get connected, it's like the animals and the trees and shit know you're connected. Look at that. He's right here. Can you tell how close he is? Come here. Come here. Come here. Anyway, so, you know, and I won't go into, you know, the stuff that I was saying or you know, my past lives or whatever, which were pretty interesting. But, you know, when it was over, you know, when you first started, they have you relax. They get you really, really, really relaxed. And Sherry is the QHHT practitioner. And she has a way of just like making you melt into the bed or whatever you're laying on. You just like, every part of you just relaxes and sinks into it. And you really get into this super duper relaxed state, right? But you're still coherent. And like I said, it happens twice a day, right before you fall asleep. That moment when you're, you know, right there at sleep, like you're so relaxed, you're not awake anymore, but you're not quite asleep. It's that in-between time, that almost right there asleep. And then when you wake up in the morning, that very first, when you're almost awake, you know, you're right in between those two times. That's how you get. And, you know, as she has you relax, she also has you visualize. She says a few things for you to visualize. And I think it's to help. I'm not sure what it's to do. But anyway, she has, you know, and she had wanted me to visualize a couple different things. One of the things that she wanted me to visualize was a yellow bird. I don't know why she said a yellow bird. It was the first thing she said. And at first, I'm seeing this yellow bird, and I'm seeing a bird's head, like real close up, like right here, a big old bird's head, the side view of his head. But it was like, I could see through the head. And I'm not seeing it, you know. I'm sitting there and like 10 seconds goes by and it's not coming clear, and all of a sudden that vision went by me, and there's a vision of trees, green trees, and it was a clearing, but there was these trees over on the right. There were some trees on the left, but the ones that I've noticed the most were on the right. And this little yellow bird comes and he's fluttering away, and he comes and he just flies up, and I watch him. I watch him fly up into the tree, and I watch him fly over to this branch, and then he flies back to this branch, and then back from the left bottom to the top right, back and forth in that tree once, right? So, and I mean, I know exactly what the tree looked like. I know what the sky looked like. I know what the bird looked like. I know what the oak clearing looked like. But I didn't know where it was. I didn't know I had already been in this spot. So, a couple hours after the QHHT session, what do we do? Do we eat breakfast? We eat lunch? We do something, but everybody kind of divides off, and Kim and I go walk to the creek. And we come into, you know, there's like this little opening that goes down through like a trail, and then it opens up into the creek. As soon as we come around the corner, there was like 3 or 4 blue jays, or real pretty bluebirds. I couldn't really see their faces and tell if they were blue jays or some other kind of bluebird, but they flew up into a tree. She's seen red ones, I've seen blue ones. But anyway, she said, "Oh, look at all those birds, look at all those birds," because they were colorful birds. And when I looked over there, right here comes this yellow bird, and here he comes flinging across from my lower left, the exact bird, the exact flight pattern, the exact trees, and he went back and forth just like that. Exactly. I mean, it was exactly, dude. It was, I've got chills. I don't know if you can see them standing on my arm right now, but I am like chilled up, my legs and everything, every hair on me standing up. It was very, very surreal. It was the exact scene that I seen in my vision just a, you know, hour or two earlier, and it was intense. It was very intense, the feeling, because I knew I've had 2 other experiences where my higher self showed me something, moved me through time, where I either showed me another strand of this reality, or it moved me forward and back in time, you know. And I know, and when it happens, this is the 3rd time it's happened, when it happens, I know exactly that it's happening. Like, I've had other things that's happened that could be like that, and there was no like definitive gut instinct of knowingness that that's what happened. This is one of those times where I knew, there was this knowing. But anyway, so that really made me think about everything that was said in the QHHT session, because some of it I was like, man, I was thinking, am I making this shit up? Am I making this up? What am I? But after that, I was like, holy shit, Batman, because wow, you know what I mean? Wow. And I hadn't seen a yellow bird in, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks prior to that. So, it's not like them little yellow birds, you see them all the time. And we even got bird feeders out here, and I don't even see them all the time. I don't know why. Them and blue jays I don't see as much as I used to. But anyway, there was just something about that triggered something in me to go to the library and get some books on this person that there was, I think we went through 3 lives, and we could have went through more. I know we could have, and I know that they're like right there wanting to be spoke on, they're wanting to be brought out into whatever. But one of the lives, the name I had recognized, I knew nothing about this person. I had heard this name before, so I go to the library and get like 10 books on this dude. And the synchronicities about this dude. It's funny though, because the guy that, I don't want to go into it, but there's a question of whether or not this person has ever existed. But whether he has or not, the legend and mythology around this and the stories that have been written, there's synchronicities, dude, that go with the QHHT. There's names in there that were mentioned in my session. There are things that have to do with bloodlines in there. There are things that have to do with something I have always been fascinated with, and I've always known that it had to do with the holy blood was the Holy Grail, the Knights Templar, all these things that man, shit has been for some reason something I've known that I've been connected to. I've already knew it. I already had this feeling. It's very, very weird what's going on. It's very weird what's going on. But anyway, I also, after the QHT, I didn't know that was healing. I should have known, because it's quantum healing hypnosis technique or something like that. But I didn't never really pay attention to the fact that it says healing in there. But when I come up from that thing, I was different. I'm different. Things are different. I've transformed, and it wasn't just that. We walked on fire. We done some what they call breakthrough. It's it's breakthrough transformational stuff that it's kind of simple things, but they have the symbolics behind it, and the symbology behind it, and the physical, you do something physical to break something, or to break through something, and it's use this kinetic energy, and with everybody around you're using synergy, and you're using these different modalities of energy, which is different than anything I've been doing, because everything I've been doing has just been working with frequencies in my hands. I haven't done anything like physically smashed anything or broke anything as a symbol of anything, so, and I thought it was silly, honestly, when I first kind of heard some of the things that we was doing. I was like, okay, whatever. But what's weird is it worked. it literally, because I've been in this funk, I've been in this rut, this just bland, not knowing what I'm doing, what my direction is, kind of in just I don't know, you know, because we haven't made our moves forward. We've been, you know, now that I know what's going on, I think we've been making excuses, you know. Well, we got to get the house done, and we got to take care of the grandkids, which these are things we do need to do, but we don't have to do these things. And that's, you know, we come home, we're packing shit right now. We're trying to get stuff cleaned out of the garage, get the house cleaned out, because one of the boys is going to move into the house, because we're splitting. I mean, unless something weird happens. She's been sick of her job, and I've been sick of what I've been doing. We need a change, man. We need to get the wind in our hair and take off, you know. So that's what's about to go down for us. That's what's about to go straight down. We don't know how, we don't know what, but we're watching like AJ in Africa. The universe is providing for them. They've both thrown caution to the wind, and they're both just following their hearts, man. They're both following their instincts and just going with their flow. And if they meet resistance, they go around it, you know. They're doing it, man. They're literally doing it. It's breathtaking to watch. It's like watching somebody jump from a real high cliff and knowing that you got to jump. It's like walking across that fire. And walking across that fire to me was very transformational. It was walking out of the past and into the future for me. And I think it was for Kim too. Kim wasn't going to do anything. She was just going to go with me, and she's not really, you know, she's not going through this thing that we're all going through. And she's there for me and supports me, but she also, you know, she doesn't want me, you know, or it's not that she doesn't want me to, but she wants to just, you know, do her own thing. You know, she doesn't want me to push her into something or try to talk her into doing this or that. So I let her be her. I let her do her thing. She's totally groovy. I love the way she is. Nothing needs to be changed about her. So I'm not trying to, you know, impose anything that's going on with me onto her or anything like that. I just need her support, and that's what she does, and she really is there for me, because some of this is hard. It's very hard. It's very lonely. It's sometimes it messes with your head. It can shake, rattle, and roll somebody. I mean, it can. And she's there for me. But anyway, she wasn't gonna. She just wanted to come visit, hang out, do this, support me. And, you know, they break out these waivers. You know, you got to sign these waivers, which basically, you know, if they kill you, they're not responsible type thing, you know what I mean? Which, who doesn't have you sign that? But it does put things into perspective. You're like, wait a minute, what now? What's this say? What are we signing? You know, so, but, and she's like, no, I'm not signing. They're like, well, come on, you might want to do something. Just sign it anyway, which I'm glad they got her to, because she done everything. She done all the things that we did. And she had some transformation too. So this event, that's another thing I want to touch on. This event, you know, not only, and this is something else I want to talk about, but there's this power of the people getting together with these frequencies. The first day we was there, we done a group meditation that has to do with sound, you know, the chakra sounds, and each person, or whatever, you know, and you kind of make a sound, and that was pretty cool. But we done this, after that we done reconnective circle session, and everybody would focus on one person for 5 minutes, move on to the next, and everybody would put their energies, healing energies, into that person. And that was a trip, dude. Because I can tell when I'm connected by, you know, I'll start twitching and jerking, and I got, you know, certain registers I have, but the main way I can tell is the colors I see. I start seeing colors, because I don't see, when I close my eyes, I don't see nothing but black. And when I've been doing any of the distance sessions with Case or anybody else or AJ or whatever, I see purple. You know, I'll see like this swirly purple whatever. And with this thing that we did, and a lot of times that's color that I see, the edges aren't filled up, like the outer edges, it's just like the center. I can see, like, you know, can always describe it like if you used to drop food coloring into water, and then it hits, and then it kind of spreads and swirls and does that, you know. It's kind of like that. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's just boom, this thing swirls around, then another thicker one comes in, then another one, you know. It's like that. But each person had different colors. Kim had the most beautiful, beautiful rays of sunshine colors. Anyway, everybody had really, really intense colors, real bright colors. Went from edge to edge. It was, and Kim had she had floated over to the creek. She don't ever have experiences really anything like I've been going through. I've been going through some crazy science fiction type shit, right? Stuff that just people wouldn't believe. But anyway, she had, when we were doing her, it was her turn, because each person, we would set a timer, go to the next person, go to the next person. When it was her time, she had felt that she had elevated, she had floated over to the creek, she was behind the shed looking at the creek, and when it came back time, she said she came like she could literally tell that she came over like a robot, like she came zoop, 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 and then when she opened her eyes again, she could see everybody's feet, and she knew she was back. But she was sitting over the creek floating. She don't ever talk like shit like this, dude. She won't make up stuff, and she don't, you know, she doesn't experience these things. If she says something like that, you know, it's, I take notice, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, you know, wow, you know. And that's not the only thing. That we had a drum circle that became a magical, it went from being just a drum circle to something really good. I mean, I've been in a lot of drum circles, and there was some, you know, I guess you would call it synergy. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I think it just means, you know, a lot of energy, a group, you know, of energy. I don't know, but whatever it was very powerful, very energetic. It was cool as hell. But it was a great weekend, man. But I don't even know what my 3 points were. I was supposed to make 3 points. That was somebody kind of gave me some advice. They said, you might want to shorten your videos and keep them to 3 points and shorter. I think this thing's already 30 minutes, so it's probably 50 points. Who knows? Anyway, man, I love you guys, and I think I touched on the stuff I was trying to touch on. I don't know. But, yeah, it was transformative weekend for me. There was really some good stuff. And when you guys hear about this, whenever we do talk about it, and it's probably going to be next year. We're supposed to meet back in a few months and get some more do some more organizing or whatever. These guys are doing it. These guys they know how to do this shit. They are really good at organizing and putting together, and, you know, team building stuff. And I don't even know why they're letting me hang out with them, because I don't know shit. But, you know, I guess I'm just lucky. But yeah, man, it was crazy. It was crazy. And if you get a chance when this happens, I think that if you get all these healers together, especially these reconnected people that are playing with all this frequency and all this energy, and they're bringing it in and holding this light, you get all these people together, you get them in the same room. You've already seen what these distant sessions like Case has been doing with several people. And I think AJ's even been doing it with several people at once. And it gets to being more intense. And the more people you have connected, there's this intensity to it that, you know, it increases. It, you know, ratchets up a few notches. And I noticed with just 6 of us together, whenever we would meditate, whenever we would, you know, get in a group circle, and whether it was meditate, whatever we were doing, you could feel, you could almost touch out and poke more energy. I mean, it was just that palatable. It was pretty crazy. I just know if you get hundreds of people together, man, it's gonna, you'll never forget this experience as long as you live. So hopefully I haven't said too much about it, and I'll find out. I'll talk to some of them tomorrow and find out if I'm allowed to talk about what they're trying to marry, the two things that they're trying to marry, because I know that they're trying to keep kind of a lid on it, but I mean, they do want to give a little teasers here and there, but they also want to kind of promote this thing right too. So, and I don't want to be the guy to bust any bubbles or let a cat out of the bag, or so to speak, or whatever. So, but there's a bird over here playing with me now. Anyway, man, I love you people, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to make more videos, because it seems like every time I do that I jinx myself, but I feel like I'm on track. I feel like I'm out of my rut. I feel like, I have direction. I feel like, maybe this channel is worth keeping going, and maybe I do have something important to say that's worthy. So I think that was part of my problem, and I've never felt so much love and support, man. Good people, man. It's funny, this reconnection, that I don't think anybody really knows what's being reconnected right now. I don't think we know. I think we think we're being connected to the universe, and we are, but we're also being connected to each other. There's a reason that we're resonating with each other, and that we're getting into each other's lives. And don't run from that. If you feel it calling you, if you feel that pull towards it, whether it be us, me, anybody else, go into that, man. You're finding these people. We're all being reconnected. We're all, we've been somewhere before together. Those of us that are being reconnected, I think, we knew we was coming to do this. We knew we was all going to hook back up. We knew that there was going to be somebody that was going to facilitate that connection. And here we are, man. It's happening. We just don't know why we're doing it. We don't know why we're drawn to it. At first glance, you think it's healing. At first glance, you think it's because there's new frequencies. At first glance, you think it's because, you're a light worker who came from the Pleiadian star system. At first glance, it's all that, but I think as we get deeper into this and we start peeling the layers of this onion back, we'll see that we were already probably an army of whatever, somewhere. And who knows, I'm sure in another strand of reality, saving the planet there, and now here we are here, and I believe that that's what we're here to do, is save this planet. When I try to get answers and figure out what it is I'm supposed to be doing, why, and the only answer that comes to me is I'm saving this planet, and I'm gonna unite people and lead people and educate and just guide and connect these people, and then we're all as a force going to impose our will, move forward, this energy, and it's going to be undeniable. Since we have enough of us, we're going to maul some shit, man. We're taking over. I really feel that. I really feel like that's what this is about. That's what I feel like it's about, because I know it's something big. I know it's not just, me getting healed. I don't think that's what it is. I think, there's really a huge divine purpose. And, I don't know. I don't know if you can see all the stuff flying around me. I've got everything that there is trying to hang on to me. You see that? What the hell is that, man? Anyway. What was I going to say? Anyway, all I know is I love y'all, man. Peace out. And just know how beautiful you are, know how unique you are, know how, man, I just, you know how much work it's taken them to beat you down to where you don't feel good about yourself? Do you know how much advertising they've had to do, how many models they've had to display, how much money they've spent trying to make you feel like you're not enough so that you'll buy something to make yourself feel better, or to make you feel like you're part of them so that you'll be accepted. Dude, you're accepted just the way you are. Broke, downtrodden, beaten, abused, addicted. You're loved, man. You're loved. There's a lot of people like me that they got love for you. Just, just that simple. Just, I can't save the world. I can't save everybody. I can't, maybe I can't even save you, but I can just, care for you. And hopefully that's enough. That's how my aunt, she used to help people, but she wouldn't help them. She would care for them, and she always would say, I'd help you to your feet, but you got to walk. And that's, where the rubber meets the road, man. There's people out here who love you enough to help lift you up, but man, you got to walk on your own, because this is, we're all drowning. We're all treading water in this sea of this, waves crashing over us, and we're all trying, and we want to help, we want to help each other. And but if you ain't careful, somebody will drown you. So you got to swim on your own, man. We're all drowned. So you can't blame other people because they don't say what you need to hear, or they don't lift you up the way you need lifted up, or when you say, well, nobody cares about me, and they don't respond back because they're tired. They don't, they're not going to get that fished out of them. I've got people in my life, and that's what they want from me. They want for me to feel sorry for them and feed into that. And it's like, no, you're not going to drag me down, because then I'm drowning. I can't drown with you. I'm barely swimming myself. So you got to get up here and swim with me, man. Let's go. I won't drown you. I'll try to lead away or whatever, but yeah, you guys got to trust in yourself, believe in yourself, love yourself, because man, you are magnificent. You was born magnificent. You're beautiful, 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 beautiful. Unique. There's nothing on this planet. You cannot find another you anywhere, probably in the universe. You cannot find another you. You're one in a gazillion, So own that shit. Love it. I love y'all. Ramble on, ramble. And whoever watches this that told me shorten it up and keep it to 3, nah. You know who you are. Part of my soul tribe. Anyway, I love y'all. Peace.